You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, and delighted to welcome back to the show actor and author Richard Lawson. We're here talking about his new book titled The Artist Roadmap. The Artist Roadmap, Navigating Your Career in Show Business. And let me tell you, this is a treasure. This is a treasure for everybody out there that is looking to be put on. If you want to learn from a master in this industry, nobody survives decades in this industry without knowing a little something. He has encapsulated so much of his wisdom in this book. Welcome to the show, Richard.
Thank you. Good to see you again.
It's good to see you. Well, I mean, you're a busy man. I mean, in addition to just your body of work, in movies like Poltergeist and on soap operas like Dynasty and All My Children. You're also on the #1 streaming show on Netflix, Beauty in Black by Tyler Perry. As if that wasn't enough, how did you find time to write a book?
Well, this book really has been written over the last 40 years, 55 years of my career. So it's a culmination of my collective knowledge of being an actor. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait.
You're good. You're good. Keep going.
Okay. Of being an actor, of being a teacher. I've been teaching since 1980. And so I've taken all that knowledge that I've learned. I have recorded every class that I've ever taught. And so it's in terms of going back in and taking the things that I have said along the way and shared along the way and my conversations along the way and my experience. And so it's a collection of my teaching, my experience as an actor, my experience as a person navigating my life and career. And I put all of that together to create this. So this is not only just for actors, it's for people. It's for anybody trying to negotiate their life or their career or their dream. And so that's what that is. It's a compilation.
And it comes at a really important time where we're seeing technology really disrupt business as usual. Everybody's talking about AI, artificial intelligence, and how disruptive it's going to be, not just to the entertainment industry, but every industry. And so this is a time where a lot of people are having to think about what's new now and next for them.
Right, exactly. And, it's interesting because Tyler talked about the fact that he was getting ready to expand his studio and put, a large amount of money in expansion. And then after, taking a look at the oncoming wave of AI, he realized that that model was not going to work the same for him going into the future. And so he's reworking his model in terms of studio, in terms of the kind of stuff that he's going to build. As a person who has constantly been on the edge of technology, and my philosophy in teaching is old school technology applied in with 21st century, old school knowledge applied through 21st century technology. I've always been forward in learning about technology, including AI. I wanted to take this course. I'm going to take the next one where they teach you all the elements of AI so that I can stay in front of it, because I don't want to be at effect to it. I want to be at cause over it. And because things change. I mean, since 1969, you can imagine how much change I have seen.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I've always been at the forefront of the change. So if you think in terms of a surfer has to catch the wave before it peaks to ride it in. And I'm trying to catch the wave of technology before it peaks so that I can at least be able to use it to my advantage and not say, oh my God, what do I do now? So through this teaching and through this book, I'm not going to have to depend so much on whether somebody's going to hire me to be in their next film. I'm creating my own industry and the other books that will come, and then I will do my own films and I'll do my own stuff so that I can stay in front of the wave.
I mean, I really, really dig that. And there are so many folks in our community, so many folks who've been in the game for a long time that have adopted that mindset. I'm going to create my own industry as opposed to waiting on somebody to discover me, right? And so when I think about, your body of work, when I think about the body of work of people like our friend Tavis Smiley, when I think about the body of work of people like Oprah Winfrey, people like Tyler Perry. These are folks who said, I'm not going to sit by the phone and wait for somebody to call me, right?
No.
I'm going to create my own industry. And these folks have done pretty well.
Look, I don't want to stand. I've never been one to stand in line to have someone say, okay, you can come in, you can come in. Wait, no, hold up. I don't want that experience. So the only thing that I can do is create my own space where people get in line to come into what it is that I'm creating, because I want to be in control of my destiny. I want people to be there for me, not having for me to have to be in line waiting to see if I'm going to be the chosen. I'm going to choose. It's sort of like this. It's like, what are you? Are you the thermometer or are you the thermostat? I don't want to be the thermometer where I'm reacting to the conditions that I have no control over. I want to be the thermostat. I want to set the temperature in the room, and therefore I control the comfort or lack thereof. I do not want to be reactive. I want to be proactive.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. And, that's exactly what we try to do with this show, featuring the voices of leaders of industry and folks on the front lines, that aren't just reacting to what's happening in the world, but they are actually reimagining what's possible and inspiring us along the way. Again, I want to encourage our leaders, learners, and listeners to tap in and go get the Artist Roadmap, Navigating Your Career in Show Business by Richard Lawson. As if he wasn't busy enough, he's also found time to put together this book. But, I want to get into some of the powerful lessons that you offer up to readers in your new book, starting with this idea of how to harness your passion to fuel progress and stay resilient through challenges. There are a lot of challenges, no shortage of challenges in any industry and across the country at the moment. But how do you do that? Where do you start when it comes to harnessing your passion in a way where you can be consistent?
Well, the first thing, when somebody comes into my school, my first question is why? Why are you here? Do you understand why you want to do this? Is this a desire or is this something you can't live without? So that if you're connected to that thing that you cannot live without, which is your purpose, and you're driven by that, because if you understand your purpose, then you have a passion for it. You're pregnant with it. You have to find that thing that you are pregnant with, that you can't just get out of. It's not like, okay, I'm done. It's like a pregnant woman can't say, you know what, I'm tired of this. It's like, no, you stuck, baby. You stuck for life. Yeah. And I want to be stuck with that thing that drives me, that gets me up every morning. So therefore, I don't care what the conditions, the outside conditions, you know what I mean? I don't care if it's lack of money, or if it's lack of sleep, or if it's just, people don't understand, or my voice is sort of an independent voice against all the whole cry of on the other side is opposite. I am stuck and committed to this because this is my North Star. And it is the thing that drives me. It gets me up every day. That passion will help me to survive any condition. Even after, if I'm connected to my purpose will live long after my body drops away. My spirit will still be here. You look at Dr. Martin Luther King, you look at Malcolm X, you look at Gandhi, you look at Mother Teresa, you look at you look at Obama. Man, people are mourning the fact that Obama is not in. It's still because of what they put in place based upon their purpose. Your purpose is everything. You were put here for a reason. If you can connect with that reason, then nothing can stop you. Bullets can't stop you. Hard times cannot stop you. A mother caring for a child is going to care for that child through all four seasons, no matter what.
But Richard, what I love about your book, as much as you really sort of lay out how to harness that passion, how to tap into that passion, and to your point, make the distinction between whether or not this is something you feel called to do, or whether or not this is just a desire. You take it a step further in your new book, where you talk about the importance of strategy and setting clear career goals to keep you on track. I found that there are a lot of very passionate people out there that stumble, and they stumble in part because they don't have a strategy. And so they end up being reactive.
Right.
And they react to every invitation, every casting call,
Yes.
every new opportunity that they see. And they
Right.
don't recognize that in doing that, they actually come off as unfocused, right?
That's right. That's right.
And they come across as ambulance chasers, as I would call them. And so
Right.
talk to us about the importance of strategy and setting clear career goals.
Well, if you understand the why, then and you take a look at, well, what does that create? You know what I mean? So from the reason I'm doing something, like for instance, I see myself as a dream whisperer. My whole purpose is to help people to achieve their dreams. And so therefore, that is sort of like the backward thinking with forward motion. That thing that's out there, if I see what it's going to take to bring it to me, then I know the actions I need to take to get there. And with those actions become, I can then create specific things I need to do. Do I need to train? Do I need to develop? Do I need to raise some money? Do I need to work harder? Do I need to study? Do I need to add some other components to it? Because of the fact that I know that, do I need to make a list? Do I have to have a schedule? Every Sunday, do I sit down and figure out what I need to do for the week? And that week, is it fitting into the long range goals, so that I systematically are checking those boxes off, going towards that thing that is the ultimate goal. It's not the end, it's just where I need to arrive to get to the next thing, and so it's a system, it's strategy. And that strategy includes creating a healthy environment, meaning your crew, your tribe, your culture that you create of like-minded people. It means handling the negativity, identifying who's on your bus, and understanding the exchange that you have with the people on your bus. 4 types of exchange: criminal exchange, unequal exchange, equal exchange, and exchange in abundance. So the criminal exchange, people who stealing from you, who do you know who they are? Have you sat down and looked at them? Have you tried to confront them? Have you tried to raise their level up to at least unequal or equal exchange? If you can't, do you need to get them off of your bus? The unequal exchange, do you raise them? The equal exchange, do you acknowledge what their exchange is? The people who exchange in abundance, they always do more than expected. Those are the people that bring you the greatest value. And then the opposite of that is, how are you exchanging with them? Are you taking care of them? So that you want to create a space where art can occur in your life. You want to make sure that the people in your universe are for you, and the ones that are not, they're gone. You can love them, but you can love them from afar. So you need community. You need to be able to understand what's in your community, and then you need to understand what your goals are that you are working towards systematically every day. And I don't care how hard it is, you get up in the morning. I'm excited to get up in the morning. And there are challenges. There's always challenges. But those challenges can't stop me. It can only distract or slow me down. They're challenges. It means I'll figure out I'm like water. I'm going to either go around it, over it, under it, through it. I'm going to get around it. You can't stop water. So that's what it is for me.
I mean, so much of this is mental, right? I mean, as much as, you have to be sort of, physically, sort of, well enough to be able to take this marathon journey, whatever it may look like in your career, but mentally, you have to
mentally.
be in a good place to be able to stay clear-eyed in order to really maximize the opportunity and see it for what it is. When
Right.
we come forward, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the experiences you've had
Hmm.
over the course of your career that have really helped to shape how you've structured this book. There are a lot of insights I'm sure you could have provided, but there's a reason, I think, why you zeroed in on these specific areas in the book. And so it's going to be story time with Richard Lawson when we come forward. You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580, and we're talking about his new book that you've got to go out and get. It's called The Artist Roadmap: Navigating Your Career in Show Business. More when we come forward. You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, and really enjoying this conversation. I got my notebook out. Do you have your notebook out? I'm taking notes here from one of the masters, Richard Lawson, actor in so many incredible films, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, Poltergeist. You might also recognize him most recently from the Netflix TV series Beauty in Black by Tyler Perry, which, by the way, is streaming #1 on the platform. He's got more goodies for us. That is his new book, The Artist Roadmap: Navigating Your Career in Show Business. There are so many really extraordinary insights in this book, Richard. I'm sure you could have written volumes of this book. Who knows? You might write another volume of this book, but talk to us about any particular story from your career that comes to mind that help you to land on the outline of the book that we get to enjoy.
Right. Well, let me just say that this is book one. Book two is business. So this is about show. The other book will be about business. They're,
Oh,
they're two separate things. You know what I mean? One is in terms of becoming an accomplished artist and what it takes to negotiate that, and then the other is how to monetize that. It's like part of what I'm doing now with this book and in the marketing of this book is in terms of how do I monetize this? How do I put it in a position to where it's going to not only do what it does, but that it will pay for itself and then beyond, so that I can continue to expand on talking and seminars and stuff like that outside of being, looking for the next role. So this is me controlling my own destiny with my knowledge and my intellectual properties, if you will. You're right. In terms of putting, in terms of putting this book together, I really had to um, be selective in terms of what I would put in the book, because 55 years, and I have recorded every single class that I've ever done over 45 years, and 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 I have a lot of interesting things to say, to talk about. This is only just a distilled part of the experience, and through the center of this, one of the core themes is in terms of how do I help people to achieve their dreams? And so I created this technology called the DUIN, Declaration of Independence, which is based upon the original Declaration of Independence, where 13 colonies were trying to free themselves from the suppression of England. So they sat down and they wrote this document out of postulates that they want to achieve and have it be, a framework for this country to go forward. Now, that document has been used as a basis of philosophy and of value for this country up until recently. So what kind of document can you create for yourself in terms of identifying what your dream is, and then being able to put that and be able to extract from that in a discerning way what your postulates are, your goals, your principles, your purpose, your policies, your plan, your celebrations, your affirmations, all of those things, so that you create a plan for you as a human being, which works in art, which works in life, which works in whatever else you want to create, a foundation, an invention. All of those things operate from this core understanding of who you are as a human being. And so that's my purpose, is to really help people to achieve their dreams by identifying what their purpose is. And how does someone find their purpose? Well, if you look in the 4 areas where you look at what is it that you love? One area, what is your passion? What are you good at? And then what is your mission? And when you start to write down those things in those 4 different areas, you will find at the core and at the center of that is a reason for you to be doing something. So I was blessed early on when I was I remember the day, it was 1970, on my birthday, March 7th, that I'm doing a musical called Golden Boy. And I had a revelation standing on that stage that God said, this is what I put you on this planet to do. And from that moment to this one, I have been very clear about why I'm here and everything I do, writing a book, acting, the choices I make as an actor, the things that I invent, the classes that I teach, the foundation that I created in helping young people is all driven from the same purpose. And so therefore I'm in alignment with my purpose. And so nothing can throw me off of that. Nothing, I don't have to make those kind of like chasing the ambulance kind of choices, because those choices aren't right for me. And it's very clear. So when those choices come to me, I can easily say no. I don't care how much money is involved, because I have this other very clear path and destiny.
Yeah. I mean, it's very connected to that saying, "What is for you is for you."
Yeah.
But if you're not clear on what is for you, then you're gonna reach for everything. What you're saying, it resonates so much with me. I'm sure it resonates with a lot of our leaders, learners, and listeners that are tapped in. I just celebrated my 41st birthday in New York
God
on
bless you.
Broadway. Had a chance to see a number of really great performances. I watched LaTanya Richardson Jackson in Purpose, incredible.
Going
Um,
tonight.
and then I watched Audra McDonald perform
Yes.
in Gypsy.
Yes.
And I am still so moved by that performance. I remember afterwards saying, you can't tell me Audra McDonald was not put on this earth to do that.
Yeah. See,
To do that.
that's
Wowie
what
to wowie.
that's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
People who possess it see it. And here's the thing: if nobody's asked you, how do you know? If nobody said, "What is your dream?" How do you know? You know what I mean? And so that I'm in the job of of um, of asking people, what is it that you want? And it's amazing. I was just at South Carolina State, did a master class there, and thank God they loved what I had to say and the book so much that it is now a textbook in their lexicon. And that's my goal, is to make this a textbook. But talking to even the administrators, the professors, they wound up teaching, but for most of them it wasn't their dream, and they became good at it, and they ascended the heights, but it wasn't their dream. When you connect somebody with their dream, they change the world. You look at the people who you can clearly see that was your purpose. Malcolm, that was your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Martin, that was your purpose. Gandhi, that was your purpose. Kobe, purpose. Michael Jordan, purpose. Clear.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And that's what I want to, so that connect people with that thing where they ring the bell of truth and there's no question about that's why you're here.
And in our remaining minutes, Richard, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, about uh, Beyonce, right? When we talk about walking in your purpose, right? For
Mhm.
anybody that attended the Renaissance tour, I felt like, my goodness, you know, I felt the same way I did when I saw Audra McDonald. Like, she is like doing the thing that she
Yeah,
was sent here to do. And even days after, weeks after, you find yourself walking around the house, walking around the office, right? And you are still moved
yeah,
by that performance.
yeah.
Talk to us about, anything that, you observed up close from Queen Bee that, could help to clarify or power the work of artists everywhere looking to
Well,
achieve that level of impact.
well, okay. So I met her mother when she was pregnant. Her mother was my sister's best friend. She was pregnant with Beyonce. So that's how long I've been in their universe. Um, what I can tell you about Beyonce is what you see is what it is. There's nobody who works harder. She's the first one there, she's the last one to leave. She is put on this earth to do that. She did it when she was a little girl. It was in her soul, in her spirit. She God said, "You are a missionary and I want you to do this thing and affect people all over the globe." She's the most popular person on the planet. She's one of the most well known people on the planet. And her work ethic is beyond anything you can imagine. It is beyond anything you can imagine. She is all of that. I have such a love for her and a respect for her because my work ethic is that insane as well. And the one thing that we had a respect and the one thing that we identified is as artists, she respected me as an artist, I believe. And she knows that I respect her as an artist because I was there to support her in every way possible, and she would ask my opinion about things. So she respected me as an artist. I have nothing but the best respect for her as a human being and an artist. She's an amazing mother. She's an amazing human being. They both are, her and Jay. I have mad respect for both of them. To watch them parent is really to watch a symphony. It's so beautiful the way that they handle and deal and love those children that come first. And so, what the success that she has achieved, she earned every bit of it. She didn't, no one has given her anything. She's earned it because she works harder than everyone else. She
And if
works.
and if the folks that are listening want to uh, learn from that, want to tap into that ethos, you need to go out and get this book. It's called The Artist Roadmap: Navigating Your Career in Show Business. My thanks to our brother, our friend, our elder Richard Lawson, for joining us here on A More Perfect Union. You know you're invited back anytime.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. It's always a great pleasure. You're a great host and you know what you're doing. So, this is what you meant to do.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. It means a lot coming from you.
God bless you, son.
God bless you. You've been listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.